if I am jealous, envious, the opposite of jealousy is a state of mind which is not jealous, a state of feeling. But if it is the opposite of jealousy, that opposite has in it its own opposite. Do we see this? Because we want to go this morning into the question of what is love. Whether such things exist at all. Or is it merely sensation which we call love? So, to understand the full significance and the nature and the beauty of that word which we use as love, we must understand, I think, what is the conflict between the opposites. Whether this conflict is illusory, in that illusion we are caught, which has become a habit, or there is only what is, and therefore there is no opposite to it. I hope this is not becoming too intellectual, is it? Or too verbal or too nonsensical. Because as long as we live in opposites, jealousy and non-jealousy, the good and the bad, the ignorant and the enlightened, there must be this constant conflict in duality. Of course there is duality, man, woman, light and shade, dark, light and darkness, morning and evening and so on. But psychologically, inwardly, we are asking whether there is an opposite at all. Is goodness the outcome of that which is bad? If it is the outcome of that which is bad, evil, I don't like to use the word evil because that's so appallingly misused as every other word in English language. If goodness is the opposite of the bad, then that very goodness is the outcome of the bad. Therefore it is not goodness. Right? Do we see in ourselves, not as an idea, as a conclusion, as something somebody has suggested to you, but actually, do we see anything born out of an opposite must contain its own opposite? Right? So if that is so, then there is only what is, which has no opposite. Right? Somebody meeting me, we are meeting each other. So as long as we have an opposite, there cannot be freedom. Goodness is totally unrelated to that which is evil, which is bad, in quotes bad. As long as we are violent, to have the opposite, which is non-violent, creates a conflict. And the non-violence is born out of violence. The idea of non-violence is the outcome of being aggressive, abrasive, anger, and so on. So there is only violence, not its opposite. Then we can deal with violence. As long as we have an opposite, then we are trying to achieve the opposite. I wonder for me. Ça va? So, is freedom the opposite of non-freedom? Or freedom has nothing whatsoever to do with its opposite? This, please, we have to understand this very carefully, because we're going to go into something which is love the opposite of hate? The opposite of jealousy? The opposite of a sensation? So, as long as we are living in this habit of opposites, which we are, I must not, I am, I shall be, I have been, and in the future something will take place. All this is the activity, the movement of the opposites. That's how we, may we go on? Va bene? So we're asking, is freedom totally unrelated to that which we call non-freedom? If it is, then how is that freedom to be lived, understood, and acted, from which action takes place? We have always acted from the opposites, right? I'm in prison and I must be free of it. I must get out. I am in bondage to a habit, psychologically as well as physiologically, and I must be free of it to become something else. Right? So, we are caught in the habit of this everlasting corridor of opposites. And so there is never an ending to conflict, to struggle, to be this and not that. Is this, I think this is fairly clear. Can we go on from there? You're not listening to me. You are discovering this for yourself. If you are, it has significance, meaning, and can be lived daily. But if you are merely accepting the idea of it from another, from the speaker, then you are merely living in the world of ideas. And therefore, the opposites remain. The word idea, the root meaning of it from Greek and so on, is to observe. See what we have made of that word. Just to observe and not conclude or make an abstract from what you have observed into an idea.